Good morning to all. This is Anil Kumar Reddy. In this video, I am going to explain problems on transient response of RL series circuit, and also I am going to explain a small problem on Laplace transforms. Okay, so now let's get started. So first we will be taking this as this circuit. So as you can see on the screen, a DC voltage is applied to this circuit. Okay, and this is the question. First, let me give you the question. So find the expression for current through inductor when the switch is closed. So the question is, when the switch is closed at t is equal to 0, you have to find the current flowing through inductor. Okay. Now let us solve this problem. So before going to solving the problem, we have to have the values of resistor, inductor, and the voltage source. So R1 is equal to 1 ohm, R2 is equal to 2 ohms, and inductance L is equal to 1 Henry, and voltage is applied voltage is 10 volts. So this is the question. So first what we'll have to do is I have to apply KVL in the loop. So let me show you how to apply. So when this switch is closed, so when the switch is closed here, when the switch is closed, this becomes a short circuit. So that current will start from R1, so voltage to R1 and to short circuit, and then it will go to inductor, and again it will go to voltage source. That will, this path will not be included by resistor R2 because R2 is short circuited by the switch. Okay. So while you are writing KVL, voltage, we applied voltage is equal to, you have to write voltage drop across resistor R1 plus voltage drop across the inductor. Okay, there is no question of R2 here. Okay, so we can write Kirchhoff's voltage law. So Kirchhoff's voltage law states that the algebraic sum of voltages in a loop is equal to 0. So you can write V into U of t. V into U of t means it is the mathematical representation of a DC voltage source. Okay. So V into U of t is equal to R1 into I of t, R1 into I of t plus L into di by dt. Let us take that as equation 1. So we have to apply Laplace transform on both sides for equation 1. So if you apply Laplace transform on both sides, then so V of t, V into U of t can be written as V by S. Next R1 into I of S plus Laplace transform of L into di by dt is L into S into I of S minus I of 0 plus, where I of 0 plus is the initial current flowing through the inductor. Here you have to understand that we have not assumed zero initial current. So first we need to find what is the initial current flowing through inductor, and we have to substitute that value in place of I of 0 plus. It cannot be 0. Okay. So before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this. So V by S is equal to, take I of S as common, R1 plus Ls into I of S minus L into I of 0 plus. Okay, minus L into I of 0 plus. Therefore, I of S is equal to, or I of S into R1 plus Ls is equal to V by S. So this is the V by S. V by S plus L into I of 0 plus. Now, first we need to find the value of I of 0 plus. Okay. So I of 0 plus means it is the current flowing through inductor just after closing the switch. As we know already, inductor has a property. It doesn't allow sudden change in current. So which means I of 0 plus will be equal to I of 0 minus. I of 0 minus means current flowing through inductor just before closing the switch. That is I of 0 minus. I of 0 plus means current through inductor just after closing the switch. So inductor has a property that it doesn't allow sudden change in current. Therefore, current flowing through inductor before closing the switch will be equal to current flowing through the inductor just after closing the switch. Okay, therefore I of 0 plus will be equal to I of 0 minus. All right, before going to that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify further. Therefore, I of s is equal to, we are just cross multiplying them. I of s is equal to v by s into, so v plus s into L into I of 0 plus by R1 plus Ls into s. Okay, so if we write like that, then first we need to find the value of I of 0 plus. So let us see how to find it. So this will be the final equation after simplification, which means we are going to take only s as the 1 as the coefficient of s. Okay. So making partial fractions. So how to make partial fractions? So for this yes, there will be some arbitrary constant. For this yes, there will be some arbitrary constant. And for this term, there will be some other arbitrary constant. Okay. So which means there are two arbitrary constants. So, so that I will write I of s is equal to a by s plus b by s plus r1 by l. Okay. Now let us find the value of a. A is equal to, take this equation. So take this equation, but you don't have to write s here. That is the only difference. So v by l plus s into I of 0 plus by s plus r1 by l when s is equal to 0. So here you have to understand one thing. When you replace s equal to 0 here, so s into I of 0 plus will be 0. Okay, therefore you can have s is equal to 0 and a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. Okay. So once you got the value of a, you have to find the value of b. So b is equal to v by l plus s into I of 0 plus by s when s is equal to minus r by l. When you replace s equal to minus r by l, then you can get v by l plus minus r1 by l into I of 0 plus by minus r1 by l. Here you cannot find directly. You cannot find the value of b directly. So what you have to do is you have to first find the value of I of 0 plus. As I told you already, I of 0 plus will be equal to I of 0 minus. So see here, I of 0 plus is the current through inductor just after closing the switch or just operating the switch. Hence I of 0 plus will be equal to I of 0 minus, because inductor will not allow sudden change in current. So now we have to find what is I of 0 minus. Here I of 0 minus equal to, first let me go to the diagram, initial diagram. See here, when the switch is opened here, which means before closing the switch, current will start at voltage source. It will go flow through R1, R2, inductor, and it will go to source again. So this is the path of current, which means, and also you know that inductor initially acts as open circuit, but at steady state it acts as a short circuit, which means this inductor will act as short circuit before closing the switch. Therefore current I is equal to v by r. So current through the circuit before closing the switch, I of 0 minus is equal to, I of 0 minus is equal to v by r. V is 10 by resistance. Resistance is R1 R2, no, R1 plus R2, because they are connected in series. So R1 plus R2. So that will give you 10 by 1 plus 2, which means 10 by 3. That means 3.33 is the current flowing through inductor before closing the switch. Okay, before closing the switch, current through the inductor is 3.33 amperes. So I of 0 minus is equal to 3.33, which means I of 0 plus is also 3.33. Now substitute the value so that you will get V is equal to, so that you will get B is equal to 6.67. After finding these arbitrary constants, then you have to substitute them in the place of arbitrary constants, so that you can write I of s is equal to 10 by s minus 6.67 by s plus r1 by l. Now what you have to do is you will have to substitute the values of r1 and l also. R1 equal to 1, l also 1. Therefore r1 by l is equal to 1. Therefore I of s is equal to 10 by s minus 6.67 by s plus 1. So now you have to apply inverse Laplace transform on both sides. If you apply inverse Laplace transform on both sides, then you are going to have L inverse of I of s is equal to I of t. L inverse of 10 by s is equal to 10 minus L inverse of 1 by 6.67 by s plus 1. Therefore, L inverse of 6.67 by s plus 1 is equal to 6.67 into e power minus t ampere. So this is the current flowing through the inductor after closing the switch. So this is how you have to answer any question. Okay, you have to first you have to apply KVL, then you have to apply Laplace transform, then you have to apply partial fractions, then you have to apply inverse Laplace transform, so that you will get the final answer. So that is the procedure. Next, let us take an example 2, and this example 2 is specifically for Laplace transform. So this is a differential equation. So you have to find the value of y of t for this differential equation. And in this differential equation, some initial conditions are given. Y of t is equal to 0, y dash of 0 is equal to 0, which means initial conditions are 0. He's saying that initial conditions are 0. So this is a differential equation, no? So this is a differential equation. Hence, what you have to do, first you have to apply Laplace transform on both sides. So if you apply Laplace transform for that differential equation, then you're going to get s square y of s minus y dash of 0 plus. Okay, this is for d square y by dt square. This is for d square y by dt square. Next, there is a term dy by dt. Therefore, for that term, it is 6 into s into y of s minus y of 0 plus 8 into y of t means 8 into y of s is equal to 2, no? Therefore, we have to write 2 by s, because Laplace transform of constant is constant by s you have to write, which means Laplace transform of k is equal to k by s. Therefore, Laplace transform of 2 is equal to 2 by s. So after writing this equation, then you have to substitute initial conditions. So this value becomes 0, this value becomes 0. So once those two values becoming 0, then you have to write remaining terms, that is s square into y of s plus 6 into s into y of s plus 8 into y of s is equal to 2 by s. That's what I have written here. After that, what you have to do is take y of s as common. If you take y of s as common, then you can write s square plus 6s plus 8 is equal to 2 by s. Okay, next y of s is equal to, therefore, y of s is equal to 2 by s into s square plus 6s plus 8. Then what you have to do is try to find the roots for this polynomial or this equation. So 2 by s into, you can write s plus 2 into s plus 4. Therefore, so once you got all the roots of this equation, then you have to apply partial fractions. So y of s is equal to, for this s, there is a by s. For s plus 2, b by s plus 2. For s plus 4, it is c by s plus 4. So after writing partial fractions and their arbitrary constants, you have to find each arbitrary constant. So first I will find a. So a is equal to 2 by s plus 2 into s plus 4 when s equal to 0, which means a is equal to 1 by 4. So after that, I will try to find the value of b. B is equal to 2 by s into s plus 4 when s equal to minus 2, which means b is equal to minus 1 by 2. Then c is equal to 2 by s into s plus 2 when s equal to minus 4. So if you write like that, c is equal to 1 by 4. So after getting all the arbitrary constants, then we are going to substitute in the above equation. So this is the value of a, this is the value of b, and this is the value of c. So after substituting all the arbitrary constants in the equation, then you have to apply inverse Laplace transform on both sides. So applying inverse Laplace transform, so inverse Laplace transform of y of t, y of s is y of t, and inverse Laplace transform of 1 by 4 by s is equal to 1 by 4 minus inverse Laplace transform of 1 by 2 by s plus 2. Therefore, you have to write 1 by 2 into e power minus 2t plus inverse Laplace transform of 1 by 2 by s plus 4. Therefore you have to write 1 by 2 into inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s plus 4 means e power minus 4t. So this is the complete solution for the given problem. So given problem is a differential equation and we are finding solution of the given problem, that is y of t equal to 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2 e power minus 2t plus 1 by 2 e power minus 4t. So this is how you can solve any problem. So you have to understand that the procedure comprises of 4 steps. First one, writing the KVL equation. If it is a circuit, writing the KVL equation. After writing KVL equation, you have to apply Laplace transform. Then you have to simplify it so that you can write partial fractions. That is a step 3. After making partial fractions, you have to apply inverse Laplace transform so that you will get the final solution. So this is the procedure for applying Laplace transform for a circuit or for a normal differential equation. So in next video, we will be discussing frequency response of RL circuits or RLC series circuits. Frequency response means that I will tell you in next class. Frequency response is nothing but it is the when the input is sinusoidal, if we change the frequency, we are going to measure the response of the circuit. So that is a frequency response basically that will be discussed in next class. Thank you.